Hello. Today we're going to be talking about developing a long-term strategy for your club. Before embarking on the development of this plan, you might want to consider setting a mission or purpose statement, as well as some core values that reflect why you exist and what you stand for. Having done this, the natural next step is to build a set of long-term goals that will help you meet your mission, and it will set a roadmap for your club, for the course, facilities, membership, finances and other critical areas. So why bother? Why bother developing a strategy? Well, first of all, it will help you identify and prioritise aims and objectives for the future. So it removes any uncertainty about what the club is trying to achieve and when you're going to do that. It will mean you can use your club resources more effectively and efficiently because you're all pulling in the same direction. To external stakeholders, it will present the club as professional and businesslike, and that will be clear to members too. It'll mean you're proactive, not reactive, and sometimes you might find yourself firefighting, but if you have a strategy for the future, you can assess where those risks and threats might be. It could improve your chance of securing external funding, as you're able to offer a strategy to a funder as demonstration of your professionalism. It could improve services for members, and also you can set specific goals around key areas such as increasing the number of young people who play golf at your club or attracting new members. So strategic goals, these are deemed the most important aims for the current and future health of the club. So the first thing you need to do is to set these goals. Now they can be around frontline services, for example the products or services that you offer. Are you going to develop your facilities, introduce accommodation maybe? What about course management? The food and beverage that you offer, or competitions and handicapping. You can set goals for these things, and you should also consider some goals that will enable these things to happen, sort of supporting goals, such as implementing good governance or marketing and promoting the club effectively. Because these are just as important in ensuring the business is led and managed well now and in the future. So the management committee should set out what is important for your club in the next 3 to 5 years. It could be course management, changes, making it more accessible, maybe making it more challenging. It could be some specific revenue generation schemes. What about bringing children and young people into the club, introducing them into the game? What about your staff? Have you got plans to expand or increase the number of staff? How do you look after them? And then of course there's the facilities and the social activities therein. What goals could you set around these that are aspirational over the next 3 to 5 years? Things to consider when you're setting these goals. Many organisations will undertake a SWOT analysis, and that's the internal, external strengths and weaknesses, and then externally the opportunities and threats. Are there new businesses or housing developments coming to your area? Is it a thriving tourist area? What about the local landscape? So you might consider also political, economic, social, technological, legal and environmental factors. How would your members describe the current status and profile of the club? What about competitors and collaborators? We realise that golf clubs up and down the country are all seeking to increase their membership or attract visitors. Could you collaborate with some of these clubs on events, competitions and so on? And what about the appetite for change? Are club volunteers and members enthused, or are they reluctant to see any changes in the club? You should consider these before you finalise any strategic goals. Now, the governance and leadership framework for Wales is a framework by which national governing bodies and their clubs can implement good governance. And in the area of strategy, the success indicator is that the club's mission and strategy unite its members, staff and committee members. So as a minimum expectation, you should be consulting with your members and staff to set the mission and set those strategic goals. So let's talk about that consultation. How do you communicate with your members and staff at the moment? Is it by email? What about Facebook, Twitter? Newsletters, notice boards, sections on the website? There could be section meetings or even member general meetings. Whatever tools you have, try and make sure you use these to consult with your members, all of your members, about your plans to set a strategy. Think about how you can use your members in the process to add ideas, because it's very often from those members you'll find the best ideas as to how to improve what you want to do. Decide who's going to lead this process. Will it be your captain, your chair? How can section chairs ensure that the consultation process is fair and it's efficient? Once you've consulted and you've had some positive feedback, hopefully, you can create a plan that starts with the development of mission goals and has a clearly defined consultation phase and ends with club approval. So the management committee will then have a mandate to build a strategic or long-term plan that will meet those strategic goals. So you need to add some more detail to this. You'll set some objectives. What exactly needs to be done to develop the course, the facilities, or the hospitality? Are there targets? For example, increasing the number of visitors or raising revenue from club events. Now these will be the headline goals to be achieved over 3 or 4 or 5 years, underpinned by our objectives and tasks or activities. Now, creating the plan is a fantastic first step, but obviously it needs to be implemented, hence the objectives and tasks, and moreover you need to be able to monitor this and make sure that you're reporting on progress. The management committee must ensure the strategy stays on track, so an annual business plan should be developed, and this will include more detail and allow the management committee to review progress at each meeting. Now, because the management committee, as far as possible, should stay strategic, that means that the implementation can be delegated down to staff and subcommittees. Subcommittees, for example, Greens or House, will have responsibility for specific areas of the plan and then will report progress up to the management committee. Now, good luck in developing your strategy. Don't rush it, take your time, be methodical and make sure you engage your members.